it charges up our battery for us pretty well. Vanlife is whatever you make it. Cheap one off Amazon, it's been a lifesaver for sure.
So many people are authentic here. It's kind of addicting.
I'm Thomas.
I'm Freya.
And this is Nomadic, and this is our bus. Come take a look. So this is our kitchen area. We had it built. This is just simple wood we got from Jerry's, and then this is our top from an old school district that we reclaimed and sanded down. This is where we do all of our kitchen stuff. This is our foot pump sink. We do all of our water through there, and it's tall enough where we can wash dishes, fill hydro flasks, or even like wash your hair. And then right here we have our little dry storage that we put like our onions or apples. We don't have any apples currently. And this random stuff. And then in here we have our storage for our food. We've got our flatbread, and then we got our dry storage like oatmeal. And we've got chips right here so they don't crumble as quickly. And then we've got our, our pots and our little like eatery things right through here. And then this is where we keep a lot of our seasonings. We like to keep a lot of stuff in here. Like a good thing in van life is having seasoning, because you can have a bunch of simple meals and a lot of different flavors, which is something we really enjoy. Up here we keep our silverware. We got our cutting board and scissors and stuff like that. This is more of our like throw everything in kind of thing. And obviously we put our hats right here. And then right here we have the same kind of wood that we put in here. It's just like really cheap stuff from Jerry's that you can get anywhere. And this is our plant, and we got our jet boil here for making coffee. And then down here we call it our library. We keep all of our books. And what we try to do is read a book, and then there's a lot of like local like box libraries that you can like trade books in and out of. So that's what we pretty much use. Reading on the side of the road or anything like that is pretty fun. We got screwdrivers and a waffle maker here that we can use. And so like, yeah, anything that you need instantly, we usually put in here so you can just grab it quick. Like in this cup, we got a flashlight. We've got smelly good stuff. We got incense, a plant. Then up here in the middle of the fridge, we've got our Nomadic refrigerator, which is 12 volt, and we have it plugged into an auxiliary battery, and that's really helped us keep our food, fresh. And so that we can have eggs, milk, stuff like that, instead of always eating dry goods. So what we do is we have a auxiliary battery underneath here. It's ran off our alternator. So as we're driving, it charges the auxiliary battery. And we want to do eventually solar, but the way we've been able to like constantly be traveling around, it charges up our battery for us pretty well. So right now it's perfect. It runs our diesel heater, which we've got the diesel heater coming out of here. Right back here, of course, we've got a cat with our litter box, but this is where we put our diesel. That way we can always see it. I almost covered it up, but that way you can kind of gauge it. You can kind of like see how much you're using, and then that way you're like, we're good for tonight. And we've experienced snow and icy conditions where the diesel heater has saved our life, and it's just the cheap one off Amazon. It's been a lifesaver for sure. Getting us out of our comfort zone, I'd have to say, is like,
pretty much,
we lived in an apartment for such a long time as introverts that we didn't go and do anything really. Like, I think I said it earlier that we have spent so much time in Oregon living here in an apartment, and we didn't go anywhere.
Yeah, it was very a stagnant lifestyle.
It was. We didn't go see sights. We didn't travel. Like anything like outside of like 30 minutes, we didn't go do.
If you're alone, I think the cons can be being alone if you're not used to it. We've made more friends being here, for sure.
Yeah.
Like the van life, the events, the people that live nomadically have such a different perspective on life.
They do, and
they're very easygoing.
They're so quick to like
not necessarily lazy either.
No. They're so quick to jump that barrier of like, hey, I want to talk to you. Let's talk about life. And like, it's so much easier to create connections with people because there's no like bull. Like everybody's just like, this is my life. I'm living it. It's literally designed to what I want to do.
Real. I love it.
Exactly.
I just, so many people are authentic here. It's kind of addicting.
We would like to say we're minimalists, but we're not. We're absolutely not. We love trinkets. We love gadgets. I've got a problem with buying
Did you see my horns? Did you show them?
I didn't show you your horns.
Like, you don't need this ever on Vanlife, but it makes me happy, so I bought horns.
So it does help with, you don't have a whole bunch of stuff, but the little things you do, even if they're horns, bring you joy.
It makes me happy.
It makes her happy. It makes us happy to have these little things, little trinkets. So the little things mean more than 1,000 little things. So I think that's something that we've really liked. This is our downstairs living quarters. This is our fold-out bed. It's a full-on bench seat that can fold out and pull out into a bed. We have our diesel heater down here with our auxiliary battery that has shore power that we can plug into. And then if I go back here, we've got the original Westfalia cabinet that we do store our clothes in. This little cube bags that we got off of Amazon for super cheap. It's so much easier than having clothes thrown in there, or having, right now for us it's easier to have than drawers, because we can just pull these out and you got your clothes. We like to do little suitcases because they're easier to pack around and move around. We've got our backpacks back here, really just like really simple stuff that can be easily moved, so we can pull this out into a bed. This can pull out into a full-size bed about here, and it can fit 2 people, and we sleep down here when it's cold and rainy, and any kind of weather that like would let the cold come in, because these buses aren't extremely insulated. No matter what you do, it's going to be, there's a lot of windows, so you kind of pay the price with that way. But we'll pull the bed out here, use our diesel heater, and really keep the heat in. It'll keep us comfortable and pretty toasty. Sometimes we have to open a window to let out the humid air, but the diesel heater really cuts down on humidity. Then up here we have another bed that can literally fold out right here, and it's a lot more airy in the summer. We'll pop the top and fold it out, and we'll get really good cross breezes through, and it'll cool us down. So it's also nice if it's too hot, we can kind of set it up where this isn't always storage. This can be like during the summer, during the winter, this can always be turned into a bed with just a little effort. And that way, like if 2 people want to sleep different from each other because of heat or other reasons, you can have a person up there, a person down here, or if someone's sleeping upstairs and they're kind of sleeping in, you can make coffee, and that way they've got coffee in the morning, because everybody has those mornings where it's hard to get up, no matter what life you live. Currently, so far, I've been doing like steady jobs. Like I work maintenance, like building maintenance. I worked for a school. I've been working for a school district recently for a little while, and it's been in one area. And what we do is we travel around during the weekends. It's like a blend of weekender and like living in our van, because we're not living in a house, but we're like, there's one spot where I have to be at work, and we travel like BLM land. We stay out in like certain areas. Like we've like made friends with people in like a fabrication shop that let us park there at night and plug in. So it's like, it's been like a revolving around the work. And actually like here soon, I'm going to like this week go and turn in my 2 weeks and leave. And it's going to be something that's super scary for us, because like I've been told my whole life, like make sure you have a job ahead of yourself. But I have like handyman skills, and I'm willing to work odd jobs. Van life is whatever you make it, in my eyes, and there shouldn't be any kind of, the whole point of van life is being able to do and live in certain ways that bring you happiness. And if you're trying to follow some kind of scripted Instagram story, you're not going to be happy no matter what life you live. That's how I feel, at least. Hey there, this is the outside of our rig. We've got a Roam Adventure box up here, which a lot of people think that it's a cooler, but it's not. It's a kind of cool little storage. It's really tough on the outside and waterproof. And we put our cook stove in it. Our axe usually gets stored in there while we're driving, and our tire iron and any kind of like little things like that is a good little storage for that. And even though it catches air, it's been a lifesaver for storage. And then right here we have our RB awning right here, and it comes out pretty nice. I've seen people do it by themselves, but the two of us tend to do it, and it's like we have a system that we do, and it's been better actually in the rain, because we can kind of have it. We recently had a campfire real close, and it was at an angle where the rain was running off of it, and it kept like, it kind of held in the heat, like it rolled in, we could set in, and like even though we ended up selling like campfire afterwards, it was like a really cool experience. It was definitely a vibe, but we really enjoyed it. And then we have our typical Westfalia pop top that comes down, and it has the vents all the way around that lets air through. And during the summer, it's perfect. Like it's taller. I can stand up like this, and I've got headroom for days. So it's definitely something that will save your back, and it's cool. So this is my front office. This is where I do all my paperwork and driving. This is the cab of the Volkswagen bus. Our bus is a 75 Type 2 Westfalia. It's originally an automatic. We have right here we have the basic like automatic shifting and everything like that, but it was switched before we got it to a stick shift 1800 carbureted motor, which has been, ever since it's been rebuilt, it's been awesome. It's like we were able to go over passes and everything like that. And actually, talking to people, prefer the stick shift because I can control how we drive. We both, like, we actually learned stick shift on this vehicle, like in parking lots and stuff like that. And of course, my dad helped a lot with that. He's been a huge help with all the engine work and everything like that. He's just a mechanical person. But like we learned stick shift in this, so this is like really feels like home. This vehicle is like, we learned a lot in this vehicle, and we're able to drive it. It's been a ride for sure. We can only go about 60, 65 on downhill with wind behind us, and about 55 uphill with wind against us on a good day. We've had to be in third, second gear up hills, up mountains, but it's kept us traveling at a pace that's slow. We're not rushing to places. We're not putting our lives in risk, even though there's crazy drivers out there. It's keeping us humble in a way that we're not having to rush, and it's slowed us down. We always add an extra hour to any trip. Anytime, if it's across town, if it's across that way, you're not in a stressful mode picking anything up, traveling. You're like, and if you get there before that time, you've made great time. You're there. You're ahead of schedule. I would say I wish I knew who told it to me, because it's the best advice I've ever heard for van life. With like, because I was that person. I was searching through everything. I was like trying to get as much. I over planned, and I asked someone like, what is what would you say if you were if you could give the best advice? They'd say, do it. Do it right now.
Like Nike says, just do it.
Yeah, do it tomorrow or do it today. If you keep saying you're gonna do it later, you won't. So our Instagram is Wild and Schmidt. That's my last name. I'm Schmidt and she's Wild. So it's Wild and Schmidt. We have Instagram. We have YouTube. We're on TikTok.
I don't know.
Yeah, we're just out there.
He does it all.
Instagram's our main thing. That's where you'll catch us. We try to put stuff out there. She has a art Instagram called Run Goosey, which is, she does paints, she does commission pieces. It's something that she wants to build into a online business that eventually, we haven't gotten there yet, but we want to get on Etsy, and that way she can sell her art at festivals and in online. So that's what we're trying to do. Thank you for looking at our van and our home. We really appreciate the opportunity to share it with everybody. We're going to be traveling around in Oregon. We're mostly based. We're going to be traveling around. Hopefully we see everybody out there. We're the blue Westfalia bus, and if you yell at us, we'll probably answer. But yeah,
just let us know if our bus is on fire.
Yeah, that's like honk twice if we're on fire. That's all we ask. So
that'd be nice.